Good morning, everybody. Thanks for waiting for us for a couple of minutes there. We are here at the Sanford VW Show for 2024. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. We have a lot of great VWs here to check out. Saw a good spattering of Type 3s. I noticed a notch, a square, a fasty, and a 34, which is really cool. We see some good splitties. There's some bay window buses here, some buggies here, all kinds of VWs to check out. Really well represented. And like I said, it's just an absolutely gorgeous day. For those of y'all outside of this area, this is how we dress when it gets into the 50s. So we think it's cold. You may not think it's cold, but we do. So we're all bundled up in long sleeves and gloves and all kinds of stuff, enjoying the fresh air, the no humidity, which is a nice change, and a lot of beautiful sunlight. So let me get you turned around. We'll go ahead and start checking out some of these cars. All the usual suspects are here, plus some cars you've never seen before. Hey there, no heel one. Good to see you. Thanks for the chat. And G Moore, good to see you as well. You know, with the new version of going live on mobile like this, I'm finding the chat a lot easier to see and to keep up with, so that is totally awesome. Hey there, Greg. Glad you got a cup of coffee. I'm looking forward to some coffee again a little bit later today, so good to have you all with us. All right, so let me see if I can get you turned around. We are at the very top of the show here. See a Euro van, I think is what we call that. And then over here, some of those bay windows I promised you. Some very tastefully done two-tone paint jobs coming up here. So we have a trio of Westies in front of us. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Gonna check out the... Good morning there, Tim. Good to see you, man. Pineapple Express. Interior matching. You know, when I was in college 4,000 years ago, somebody gave me one of these Z-beds. I didn't know what it was, but I used it as a couch in my dorm room for a while. Nice Westie bay window. Yeah, so happy to have you all with us. Got a racing stripe on this late bay. Pop top Westie. I didn't mention Gias, but I noticed a good number of really pretty Gias as well. Look at the paint on this guy. Let me nose up a little bit here. That way, very good. Beautiful paint job. Something looks real slick about those headlights too. A little bit narrowed, a lot lowered.
Hey everybody.
Really cool upholstery on the low backs here.
We have a free whiskey and
very nice.
tasting
Whose car?
over at 73 Moto.
You want to talk on a live stream about it?
They're also giving away some really cool
Beautiful car. Yeah, we're live on Haptic Garage here. What's your name?
Ariel.
Ariel, nice to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to
Brent.
meet you.
Yeah, tell us about your car.
Is a 1971 Kia custom with the high performance 1915 motor.
Great.
They got air suspension at the front and back, power screen, and most of it customized the best I can do. And
The best you can do.
Yeah,
That's
best
pretty
you can.
good.
Yeah, I try to make nice and easy, and I restore full restoration about 6 years ago. I keep
Holding up
in the
great.
garage. Yeah.
Yeah, do you
And,
drive every day?
no every day, but only on weekend. Only
That's
on
all
weekend.
right. Yeah, so gets out there and gets exercise.
Yes,
keeps it
exercise.
alive.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to get a close-up of your engine here. What a great story and a great-looking car. There we go. Look at this. What size are what are those? Webers?
Yes, that's Weber. That's 44.
Weber 44s. Hey Robert, how you doing, man? Good to see you. A nice dual carbs, good hex bar linkage in there. You got the serpentine belt.
Yes.
What kind of distributor is that? That looks high performance
That's
too.
CB Performance.
CB Performance. Is that an HEI?
I
guess
Spark,
have the coil in it?
yeah, coil in it.
Nice. I like what you did with your dual pulse sender. You got it painted up
Yes.
like the engine. That looks really nice. I am a big fan of those dual post senders. So you get the gauge and the idiot light. Very nice. Great meeting you. Thanks for showing us your car, man. It's beautiful. Take one more look at this steering wheel in here. Look at that thing. And in case there was any question, it is in fact a carbon Ghia. How y'all doing? We have an early bay right next to the beautiful 71 Ghia. Another one of those really nice two-tone paint jobs. Yeah, you bet, David. That is a nice Ghia. Hey, Moto Doggo, how you doing? If y'all like mud trucks, doing crazy things, check out Moto Doggo. Post tons of shorts and really cool event videos if you want to go take a look at that channel at some point. We have an early Beetle. Good to have all y'all with us again. All right, how about a Splitty then? We have a 1960 15 window deluxe with all the trim. It's got the entire middle seat, so no expense spared here. Beautiful 60. I like the color. I think we would call that a salmon color. Got a stock engine in here with the 009. Big fan of the oil bath air cleaner there. Looks like a dual port. Got those tiny little taillights on there. Style. This show has been growing over the 4 years since its inception, and it always has a really cool laid-back vibe. Fuego, no, I did take a look before the live stream started, but we haven't shown them yet. In fact, I'm going to show you a combo up here of a pretty well-known dune buggy that is pulling a motorcycle. You got to hang in for that. It's pretty cool. 60s bug.
Hope you guys are having fun.
Next to a 60s bug. Next to probably earlier than a 60s bug. Maybe a 59 or so. Just guessing. You bet, Fuego. Yeah, straight ahead of us on the other side of this building is where the motorcycles are right now. When I went over, it was still kind of quiet, but it's probably picked up a little bit by now. If it makes sense, we'll pop over. Beautiful. It is indeed a 59. Love that deck lid. I have a deck lid like that on Dweezil, not that it has any business being there, but it's probably one of the most stylish deck lids they put on these cars. Very cool. All right, here's your bike.
Beautiful.
Indeed it is. This is Dalton from Just Buggin' and G-Man. How you guys doing?
Having a great time.
They're heckling me.
Trying to stay warm.
Oh, it's perfect.
Always a great time ahead.
Yeah, we get to move around all day and never break a sweat. I'll take it. So, okay, here's our buggy. This gets converted into a trike sometimes. Our buddy Jeff is the master behind this thing. It's a favorite to see at shows because it's just so cool. Interesting place for a trailer ball, but it works. Probably has something to do with the trike attachment, I would guess. All right, so we got two-wheelers on this thing. So this one rides around with it, the little moped here. See if I can avoid getting run over by this guy. Look at this thing. All right, and Fuego, here's your bike. Says it's a deluxe. Some S&S parts on there. Cool little trailer behind the buggy. high bars on it. Saddlebags, highway bars. Cool bike. This one's got a chain. A lot of Harleys, I don't know if this is a Harley or not, but a lot of Harleys have a belt drive. This one has a chain snuck in there. All right, let's head over this way. Oh, before I do that, I gotta show you this, folks. Got an SP2 here. It's one of those cars I didn't know existed until a couple years ago. Very, very 70s James Bondsy. Really cool car. So didn't I tell you that there were some nice cars here today? While we're looking at this, I'm standing right next to a beautiful early single cab. They're just everywhere. Everywhere you look, something cool. All right, let me swing you around. We'll go over in this area. I hate to do it, but I kind of have to avoid areas with loud music. There's copyright things to be concerned about. Sorry for the lens flare there. We have a late Beetle. And a really pretty Splitty. This looks like a 11 window camper. Nice. I see a few more motorcycles. So, 2 BMWs and a Kawasaki. I worked on one of these BMWs a long time ago. How you doing? Whose is it?
Actually, they're both hers. She's let me drive the R90S today.
Nice.
They're airheads.
Indeed they are. So you're in the right spot. What's your name?
I'm Celia, my husband's Jay.
I'm Shay.
Yeah.
Shay.
Nice to
Sheila,
meet you.
nice to meet you
Nice
as
to meet
well.
you. Yeah.
So we're taking a peek at some BMWs here, horizontally opposed,
Right.
like our VWs.
Twins.
Yeah, and they're cool, like our VWs.
Yes, exactly.
Very cool.
Take care.
See you guys.
I've been told that those are the best balanced motorcycles you will ever ride.
We have been told that also. Yeah, they're just fun for us. They're
And
pretty
you go down the road and
Right.
take your hands off, and they'll just stay straight for you.
Built for the nice back road and the turnpike as well.
Nice. So they do well at high speed.
Great at high speed.
That's stable.
Great in the twisties and
Yeah, very cool. I was just about to tell a story that I'd worked on one of these one time many years ago. I was at a motorcycle shop, and we had to load one of these on. I'm just going to keep it on here because those are so beautiful. We had to load it on the truck with a locked up rear wheel.
Ooh, wow.
That's
Okay.
heavy.
And these are direct drive, if I remember.
Yeah, it's a shaft.
Yep.
Yep.
Shaft drive.
So there was nothing we could just take off.
Right.
Right. You can't
It was
just
really
scrape that
challenging.
chain off. Yeah.
But it was a really nice bike to have in the shop.
Oh yeah, they take up a little bit of space with the cylinders and all.
Yeah.
Still works out.
Yeah,
And
they
there-
do kind of stick out.
And there's a nice club that the national club for this is the Airheads Beamer Club.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a pretty good following of the Airheads for the Airheads Beamer Club. And
Oh, yeah.
we just got back from a rally in North Florida, and there were quite a few Airheads there.
Nice.
They like to camp out, bring all the gear on the bikes. The bikes are great for going up here, and you can go cross country in these bikes.
Yeah, reliable,
Yeah.
smooth, they don't wear you out.
Yep, for the most part. For the most part, yeah.
Sounds a lot like our crowd.
Yes,
Yeah, it
does.
is.
Y'all have found a
very
new
much
home.
so.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We're Airheads. Have a
Great,
great day.
great to meet both of
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Yeah, y'all take care. Thanks for bringing your bikes out. How about that, Fuego? Is that cool? The Kawasaki's, I remember they were real powerful. You had to be careful of electrical issues on them, but man, look at that 4-cylinder monster there. Really well taken care of. All right, so back to some air-cooled V-dubs here. Like a magnet, I'm being pulled over this direction. Thanks, Rob. I do appreciate that. You know, as far as video quality, this phone does a good job. It just needs a good connection, and that's where I've run into trouble before. Here, the connection, sometimes it's LTE, sometimes it's rock solid 5G. So yeah, thanks for the update on that. It is something I'm curious about. But here's a Type 34 Ghia with a passenger that's too cold to come outside. A Type 3 squeezed in there with a bell crank style linkage. Some singles. Really pretty engine bay. Thanks everybody for joining us. We're at Sanford 24. It's warmed up a bit, so I don't see as many people shivering. When I first got here, it was in the mid 40s, and now we've got to be in the low 50s. A shout out to our friends out in Texas, the VW Life guys. They like these tires, these General Grabbers. They do look good. On a salt of the earth early bay. All right, how about a Notchback? We're just finding so much special stuff here. So lowered Notchback with the cool rack in the rearly, above the rear there. Rob says he sees a Cado. You're gonna have to clue me in on that one. I'll go take a look at it. What is a Cado? Is this it? Is this the Cado? A high performance, blueprinted, balanced, dual carbed Cado. 3-wheel, of course. Super clean stocker here. I don't know if that's coming through here. Let me see if I can. Another rear luggage rack. These are gaining popularity. A few years ago, you didn't really ever see these things. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. I'm glad that's the case. I'll be honest, I was pretty disappointed with the video quality at Bug Jam this year. There were just so many people there that the infrastructure couldn't support it. And so we had a fairly grainy video that time. But today we're doing all right. Sanford is taking care of us. So happy for the updates. In a couple of weeks, we will be at the VW Getaway. I intend to do another live stream there. Hopefully we'll have good connection. So how about a notch and a square? There was a fastback here somewhere. I may have missed it. So an early notch. The 5 lugs. The early Type 3s have such cool styling inside. This might be about a 68 or so. Another bell crank. I have picked up some dual carbs. I haven't put them on anything yet, but I picked up some dual carbs and a CSP bell crank linkage, which I hear a lot of good things about. So at some point we'll have an engine build to try that out on. Hey, does anybody recognize this guy? We might take a glance at Gary's car here in a little bit, the 60. Really cool, slightly sweaty square. Great. Like the stockers too. You know, the stuff that obviously has a story behind it, those are really interesting to us, but just someone in it for the long haul, you know, I like those too. So this car is a part of the family. Not meant to be a showpiece. A part of daily life. Solid late bug. It's going to have that nice IRS in it. You know, if I did a better job of carrying stickers around. Shout out to our buddy Jeff. nice to see a stalker too. Lowered early Beetle. Next to a lowered early Beetle. If you know the area, you recognize Ormond. That's out there just north of Daytona, which is just north of Port Orange, where the Nodo show is in a few months. I think we saw Bill here today, the organizer. One thing I love about all the supporters and promoters of these shows is that they support each other. They show up for each shows, they're supportive about it, they respond to each other's social media posts. Like, it's not a competitive environment. It's everybody being a part of the same family, and it's really nice. I'm pretty sure this was an upgrade. Pretty sure that wasn't stock. This was that 1 year only Chevy VW cooperation they made. Never. I wonder if they have a spare engine back here. They're giving all appearances of it, but I don't believe them. Fast bug. Ah, speaking of fast, here's the fastback I was thinking of. I haven't seen our buddy Michael in a while, so I'm a little concerned, but he loved to see the fastbacks. So this one's for Mike. Indeed we are, G-More. So are you. So Robert's trying to give me a clue with the red Cado. Is that way off in the distance there? Is that a late model? That's probably why I know nothing about it. I'll walk back down there if that's the one. Just let me know. Thanks for trying to give me a clue. I do appreciate it. Look at this guy. Love center lines. They're kind of timeless at this point. Cool. We'll run back down there and take a look at the Cado. Kind of reminiscent of VW Jawbreaker. Similar technique there with the paint. Alright. Oh, let's run across the street here right quick. Brewdub is here. Good to see Brewdub out and about and doing things. I think I caught a live stream when they are on the way to the Quaker Steak and Lube show last week, so if you want to check their channel out, they're active and doing stuff in the community. Yeah, I like Gias someday, folks, someday. Like something around a 69 to a 71, somewhere in there. You bet, Dab Driver. I'm happy to do it. Good to have you all with us. Rob, I have not seen Jeff Rowe, owner of Nacho Bug. I probably, like, he's kind of a larger than life, everyone loves him type, right? I think I would have run into him by now if he was here, but we'll keep an eye out. Working our way back to that Cado, taking a look at a Splitty. Got a little boy getting ideas about his first car someday. And here's something we haven't seen yet, other than things, of course. A convertible. Love the classic chrome rims. All right. Via the thing, we'll run over to the Cado. This one looks pretty hot and fast, doesn't it? So if we're on the same page, I found the right car. VR6 it says. You'll have to guide me through this one. Too much tint to see inside, but I bet that looks fast going down the road. Rob says a bucket list car. Oh, okay, there we are. I did it. I learned something today. Look at those rims. We'll get a close-up in a second. So if this is a bucket list car for Rob, I'm going to assume that it's stupid fast. Giant rotors drilled. So that is also indicative of a fast car. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Okay. Let's check out another row over here. Everywhere you look, cool cars. I like to keep things positive, so I don't mean for this to come off negatively, but the thing I miss here is a used parts swap meet. I saw, actually in this area, somebody selling some used parts at their spot, which is totally cool, but no area of used parts, and I wonder why that is. That would be the one thing that I would do to take this show to the next level. It's great without it, and I'll always be happy to come here. But yeah, I don't have a swap meet to share with you today. There are some new vendors though. No Dos Chevaux. I have not seen one. Of course, that's a Citroen. The last time I was up close and personal with the 2CV was at the Le Mans car show at Amelia Island. Somebody had one that was a fully restored chassis. There was no body on it. But that was a fun car show. I actually made a video about it a few years ago. If you wanted to look that up, I made just a long vacation out of it. I had my motorcycle with me and the RV, and we went down and rode Bike Week and started off with the Le Mans car show. If you've never heard of that show, you got to check it out. They have fun with junky cars. There's another Type 34, but look at that color. No, not 34. I made the rookie mistake. We got a Corvair here. Kind of low-ridered out. Air-cooled nonetheless. Rear engine nonetheless. Got that Corvair power in a Corvair. Look at that air cleaner. Whoa, look at this carb. 66 Corvair. Giant carburetor for the engines we're used to. Very cool. A little bit of everything here. A little bit of everything air-cooled. Alright, so we have a new Beetle Truck. Whoops, sorry. They've been around long enough that we can see some that have been modified. Oh, y'all are fine. Thank you. Got some folks admiring the Q-Bug Ute. Kind of an Australian name for a truck, car truck thing. I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I had a Ranchero for a while. 79 Ford Ranchero, which is kind of like, everybody sees it as the Ford version of a El Camino, but they actually came first. The Caminos came a little later than the Ford Ranchero. And I had what was probably one of the worst years, but I had a lot of fun with it. It was my first V8 to play with, and it set me up nice for, for working on the RV that you might have seen, the Mosey home. That just looks cool. I'm going to avoid the music a little bit, but we got cars going all the way down this way. See some late bays, early bays. Splitty up close to us here. Let's get a nice sun flare shot. That's a Florida car show for you. We'll run down this way. There's a Baja. Gotta see a Baja. See a Super down there as well. Cool, quintessential tube bumper and side rails. Lift it up a bit. Ready to smack some limbs and live to tell the tale. Big engine back here. This is a late with the IRS. Has an alternator, probably some IDFs again, or for the Delortos. Another arrangement on 2 cinders, just using a T there. Dab Driver asked, do you think the LED lights are part of such a beautiful Beetle? Well, I would say up to the owner. I have LED lights on Dweedle, and they look stock. That's what I like. There's a lot of LED lights that look like they came off of a Jeep, and that's desirable depending on the person. But I prefer the look of the stock headlights myself. But I like the brightness and efficiency of the LEDs. So for me, yes, with a caveat, stock look, but LED technology is what I go for. Did that on the RV too. Every light on it, except for 2 interior lights up front, have been converted to LED. Look at that. I'm not sure what's going on with the exhaust, but it looks like fun. That's the inside of a heat exchanger. I don't know, maybe that's type 3 or something. Maybe one of y'all know. A little different. There we go. Cool looking bug. In fact, I think I saw him come in. Yeah, we got a shot of him coming in when we first started the live stream. All right. We are off the beaten path, but why not? Let me swing you around. Check out a Super. Roundy nose where they've covered off the louvers in the front. A really cool looking two-tone. A little bit of age on it, gives it some character. That's cool. A couple late bugs. A late bus. The show is growing. I do not recall cars being all the way down here last year, so that's a good sign. I got here right at 9, and I thought I was going to have a hard time finding a parking spot, but I think the cooler temps slowed people down a little bit, so it's not rare that I feel like I got somewhere early. But today I felt like I did. I actually drove my regular car today, not my daily driver bug. I drove the truck today. It's not what we're focused on today, but I do really like that truck. I pulled the engine in Dweezil a couple of weeks ago. I want to tighten up the cooling tin, do a couple of things that I didn't really have time for when I slapped the engine together before Bug Jam. I think the engine's healthy. It's going to be a good runner, and I just want to make sure it stays that way. So I pulled it to do some touch-ups, and then I got sidetracked. I have this engine stand that lifts the engine up. I'm working on a video for it, and I started doing upgrades. And so the engine's just been on the stand for 2 weeks. Haven't actually touched it. So didn't drive Dweezil today. We'll see if I have it ready for VW Getaway. Really cool buggy. Duals again. Monster engine. Is it a wheelie monster? Is it a wheelie monster? No. Looks like it could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
I just won't beat on it that hard.
You're smarter. Look at that thing. Looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
If I was going down the road and I saw you two in this thing, it would make my day. So thanks for bringing it and sharing it with us today. I'm in the shade right now, which is usually what we run for. Here's an Edelbrock carb. Today the shade's not so crowded. Let me see if I can get rid of that lens flare there. I have those tempered glass covers on the lens and the screen on my phone. And of course I drop my phone and it cracks. And so you're seeing a little bit of that today. So I peel them off and put a new one on. Should have done that before today. Yeah, no kidding, Fuego. It would have been a chilly day for that. I haven't ridden motorcycles in a while, but I remember when the temperatures got into the 60s, that was when I needed leather. And today, when they were coming, it would have been in the 40s. So I bet they bundled up. They seem pretty savvy. They seem to know the score, so I'm sure they kept themselves comfortable. Here is the Lightning Bug, a project that our friends at Just Buggin' have been working on. This is Greg right here in front of us, or G-Man. I haven't had any time. So they've been playing with this one. Pretty cool paint on it. It is right next to the 66 Wannabe, which you may have seen before. And Dalton tells me that he towed the 66 behind the van to get here today. And they drove the Lightning Bug separately. But they got 3 cars at the show today. Always good to see Just Buggin'. What's up, G-Man?
I want you to be at the Beetle Getaway.
That's usually the response I get. Hello. I'm thinking this is a matte clear coat on this one. It's really neat looking. Got a good crowd with us today. I appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, I got G-More and G-Man. Good to have introduced you. I don't know if this qualifies as a Class 11, but it has that feel to it. Yeah. This one works hard for a living. Oh, we have a BMW Azetta, I think. That's what those are called behind us. We'll take a look. There are 2 beautiful black bugs here today. Here is one of them. What a gorgeous black color. This one with a jersey plate. That's pretty. All right, so here's the Azetta. He should go with the bus. The bus is better. This is neat, but the bus is better. There's our future driver again. I bet on skinny European streets, this would really be handy. So like a Super Beetle, some U-joints in the steering system. Look at that shift knob. Super neat. How you doing? A late bay camper. Now let's take a look at a Speedster and a double cab, and then we'll cut around our speakers here, see some more cars. Porsche Speedster. So for the gimbal just freaked out a little bit. So for the last week or so, I've been posting a lot of shorts on YouTube. I'm trying new things like I always am. Curious if y'all have seen any of those, if they've popped up in your feeds. Oh, gimbal messing up again. Yeah, Greg, Gary is here. I was talking with him a little bit earlier, and so is the 60 right up front. He didn't bring the trailer he's been working on today, but it'll be making an appearance soon enough. I know everybody's real excited to see that. Pretty cool project he's working on. And then this label right here, he's assuming. Nice woodwork. Cool double cab. All right. Quick glance at some later bays, a couple early bays with a, oh, 3 early bays, 4 early bays. If you look further down there past the red one. Thank you, David. Yeah, that cold saw, Jaeger cold saw. If anyone watching hasn't heard of a cold saw, it's not like a friction saw, like a carbon-based dealy-doo. It's going to be cleaner around machine equipment, is my interest in it. And it's big, heavy, and awesome. But yeah, I picked up a Jaeger old school cold saw. It's a little bit of a project. I did hook it up. It runs on 3-phase power. It does run, but it's wide open. So there's a Verispeed feature that's missing a part that I'm probably going to have to fabricate something to make that work. Clean up a lot of wiring on it. Supposed to have a 2-speed switch on it, and I don't know how that's wired. So lots for me to figure out. I don't know why my gimbal keeps doing that, folks. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the cold saw, I'm excited about it. So thanks for mentioning that, David. I'm glad you got to see that short. Yeah, I want to include more of what I do. I'll keep doing the videos like you've been seeing over the last several years. VW projects and the like, but there's a lot more that goes on. Ooh, I might have to abandon my gimbal here. And I'm enjoying sharing a little bit more of that. Wow, look at that blue. I hope this comes through on the video. That is a gorgeous color blue, deep blue right in the sun. You know, I have seen this car before. I met the owner and it was like at least 10 years ago. And I'll show you the feature that he shared with me. He wired the car, and to hide the fuse box, he came up with a really clever remedy. That is the fuse box in this car. Super nice late Beetle, and it's good to see him again. Holy moly. Arts VW Garage. Blast from the past for me. Nice car. That's the gentleman there with the white beard in front of this car. We should say hi to him a little bit later. Hello. Hey Paul, how you doing? That makes sense, Fuego. Look at this. Got some custom work here, tail lights, and yeah, it was awesome paint. And turbo. There's some LEDs for you. I like the look of the little tail lights. For daily driver stuff, I want the people behind me to see me. That doesn't mean they're not going to run into me, but it's not all bad to have giant tail lights like this late Gia here, probably 72 through 74 or so. Much better chance that they're going to see you. You can feel a little more comfortable daily driving an old car when it's visible. Nothing you do can fix the fact that people aren't looking, but let's listen to these guys here. Bike Week is coming up pretty soon, and the sound of a large group of bikes rolling by. It's like nothing else. How you doing today?
Good, good. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Are we treating you nice today?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Very good. Thanks for being here.
Hey, my pleasure.
Look at this one. So upright headlights, early bumpers, 4-lug wheels. What do we have going on here? No dash pad. So a lot of that points to a 67 for me. So who likes green? We were talking about LED headlights. So here's the ones that are very obviously LED headlights, right, on this Super. That has a cool look to it too. So it's just whatever a person wants, right? Either way, you get brightness and efficiency, and it's great. Big engine. Wheels bug, it says. I have a progressive carb here. I've picked up a couple of these recently, so that'll be fun to play with. This may be one of the newer Impies. I picked up a couple of 32-36 Webers. I may be able to make one good one out of the two. And of course, if you've heard of them before, you've heard someone follow up with, they're great when they're great. May have to play around with jetting quite a bit. I found a good write-up by John Connolly from aircooledparts.net. That I'll follow his write-up when I start playing around with him, but he seemed to really know what he was talking about with those progressive carbs. He had some contrarian ideas about jetting as far as popular opinion is concerned, and that usually gets my attention. An early bay there next to another early bay. Some general grabbers. This is the Beetle Chick. She seems involved with some things right now, so I won't bother her, but she made it out. That's cool. Nice late Beetle, early bay, and a squareback. I think this squareback was right here last year, and I think it looks even better this year. Yeah, late squareback. Thank you, Dab Driver. You as well. Thanks for joining us. We've seen the single cab before. It never gets old. Gorgeous build. And I got to show you this one. Get a good shot of it here. I'm going to give you a glance.
Unreal.
The question is, what type of engine was that? I'll give you a hint, and another hint, and another hint. So does anybody know what type of engine that is? They did some interesting things with the rear apron, but they did it nicely. Got some supports in there, some tail lights. Let me get in here so you get a good view of it. See an alternator, we see a distributor. Carb all the way over here. That is a rotary. Somebody crammed a little rotary into a Beetle. Made it look good too. But that's a fun drive. All right, another late bay here. All right, I'm going to make a mad dash here I want to show a fan favorite or two. Our buddies Gary and Rob have gotten into the habit of parking next to each other, because both of them have great cars that everybody loves. So let me up here right quick for you. Right next to a beautiful Gia, we see the 60 from VW Jawbreaker, looking all nice and shined up. He got it cleaned up after doing some off-roading. And of course Rob's bus. Beautiful car, or bus rather. I like these things too. All right, let me run down this side. I have to get away from the music a little bit. We were checking out your car. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, very good, folks. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was the VW show at Sanford at Henry's Depot for 2024. We're going to do this again in a couple of weeks at the VW Getaway, Robbie Johnson's show out there in Brandon, Florida. So looking forward to that. We'll be in the Mosey home. We'll have the dogs with us, hanging out with friends. There'll be a swap meet, so we'll check that out. We'll have a great time. So we'll see y'all then. Thanks again for joining me today for the show. That was Lance over there. Hey!